Hi, and welcome to the reading of the catch of the day. This is John Fisher, and it is the 23rd of June, 2022. And I'm going to be reading today's catch, which is entitled Grace is Unfair. Thank goodness. But love your enemies, do good to them, and lend to them without expecting to get anything back. Then your reward will be great, and you will be sons of the Most High, because He is kind to the ungrateful and wicked. Luke 6:35. If you want to get a little taste of what God is like, try loving your enemies, lending money to those you know won't pay you back, and then try being kind to ungrateful and wicked people. What does this do to one's sense of justice and fairness? What could this possibly be about? Jesus can't be serious about this, can he? Here's what I think. I think Jesus is getting us to think this way because he wants us to see something important about ourselves. After all, what are we thinking here? That we are God's friends, that we always pay back what we borrow, and that we are most certainly grateful and holy. And that's why it's so hard for us to understand why God would ask us, the holy ones, to be kind to all these wicked and ungrateful folks. Gee, somehow we're going to have to find it in ourselves to love these awful people. But I suppose that if God can do it, we can too. It will be a stretch, but we will try. Is that what this is about? Hardly. Here's what I think it means. There is no difference between the most ungrateful, wicked people I can think of and me. And I had better be deeply grateful that God is, in fact, unfair in this way, because otherwise there would be no hope for me. I know this is what Jesus is saying here because the very next verse is, be merciful just as your Father is merciful to you. And that is followed up with, do not judge or you will be judged. See where he's going with this? When you look at it this way, it changes the whole picture. Love your enemies and be kind to those who, like you, have received the kindness of God when you don't deserve it. And if you are ever tempted to think of God as being unfair, then go all the way and rejoice in the glorious inequity of grace that has made unlikely room for you and me, and in the same spirit of unfairness, make room in your heart for everyone else, regardless of their wickedness and ungratefulness. This is John Fisher for the catch of the day and grace turned outward.